I'm Bruce Coleman of Choices of Life. I have a wonderful program called The Wonder of Life Before Birth, because indeed it is a wonderful time of learning, of experience, of growing, prior to the time when we're actually born. This is the message I take to grade 5 and 6 students, and I've been doing so for approximately 12 years. A message that encourages these young people to think about who they are, the value of who they are, and the value of their peers, because each one of them is a unique creation, a unique young person. It's basically this is your life presentation, a presentation that says, hey, we're going to talk about you, Laura, today for the next hour. We're going to talk about what happened to you inside your mother's womb from conception to birth. We're going to talk about the sorts of change that happened, the sorts of things you learnt, the things you did inside your mother's womb. And in so doing, it provides an example that is relevant for all the students in the class. And they all understand exactly that it's about them as well. I like to talk about conception, conception being the time when you and I began. Laura, this is when you began. You began at conception. Conception when the information from your dad, the information from your mum combined to make a unique, brand new individual. I just get excited with that because I see their eyes light up and say, wow, is that where I really began? And as we talk and as we go through, I can talk about how our cells divide and become the special sorts of cells that define our appearance. The skin cells, the cells that make up our eye, the cells that make up our brain, the cells that make up the muscles and the bones and the blood cells, and all these things all began. It was a very complex cell right at the very, very beginning. And as we progress through, we look at some of the pictures of what we looked like, even at 4 weeks. 4 weeks, well, we don't look like we look like now. And I say, Laura, who do you look like? I look like my grandma. Do you look like your grandma as she is now? Oh no, I don't look like that. But do you look like grandma when she was younger? Yes. Here we are at 4 weeks, and it's interesting as we look at this particular picture, we can see detail of a head that's begun. We can see there the umbilical cord, which is quite enormous in comparison to the size of the baby. We can see the spine, we can see where the heart is and the liver, and really at 4 weeks our heart is beating and pumping blood around our body, and it's just an amazing thing even at 4 weeks. And at that point mum is just beginning to maybe suspect that possibly she's pregnant. And as we progress through, we build on that particular concept of who we are and talk about, well, whose blood is it? It's the baby's blood. It's not mum's, because the baby's producing their own blood cells. And we talk about how we practice breathing and how important it is for the mum to have the right food and to look after the little baby that's growing inside her womb. It's just amazing, because at 6 weeks the little models that we have show a little baby at 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, and at that stage we're very small, as you can see in the models, but we're a fantastic little person. And at 10 weeks you've got everything. You're a complete little person. Our time in the womb is not just a time that we grew and developed, but also we learned some very, very important things that will last for the rest of our life. Breathing, for instance. We learned how to breathe before we were born. Inside our mother's womb, inside all that amniotic fluid inside mum's womb, we were taking that fluid inside our lungs, out, in, to build up strength and to build up a regularity of that breathing process, so that when we were born, hey, we knew what to do. We also learnt how to suck our thumb. Do you realise why we had to suck our thumb? Sucking our thumb was a very, very important skill. Why? So we could go and have that milkshake at Macca's? No, not that at all. It's so that when we were born we knew how to suck. because we were going to breastfeed. That was one of those things we had to learn. And also, sucking our thumb developed those muscles here so that later we could learn to talk. Hey, we come back to the point. Each one of us is unique. Each one of us is made as a fantastic, wonderful little person with particular features, personality, but also we learnt some marvellous things inside our mother's womb that were going to last us for the rest of our life. Children pick up different details. Some children have said to me, it's amazing. The things that I do now are the things that I used to do before I was born. I must be the same person. The size of our feet around 10 weeks after conception. The students love these. I wear them on my tie when I go into the school. You've seen the little feet, you've seen the models, you've seen the pictures, and it's wonderful to be able to now view all that on an ultrasound as it progresses from very early stages of the pregnancy right through to birth. They will respect not just the unborn, but respect each other as unique individuals that can contribute to the classroom environment as well as the society, because we're all different. This person's going to contribute this and this person's going to contribute that, and we can work together. This presentation is obviously a biology lesson for our junior students, those who are still thinking through who they are and looking forward to the day when their bodies are going to change and all those sorts of issues. And this is in that context. In many schools, that's where they place this particular program. If you would like to have this program in your school, please contact me through my email, by phone, or just check some further details on the website.